Hey tribe, I know you've heard this phrase. Even if you're not a religious fanatic, you've heard this. Walk in faith, not by sight. That's what I want to talk about today in this video because I was just sitting here on the couch thinking, and that phrase came to me. Like, walk in faith, not by sight. And it sounds just like a cliche. Like, we've heard it so much. People say it to us. Maybe people said it to you. And you just fluff it off. Like, what do you mean? Sometimes you almost get angry with people when they say that to you. Walk in faith and not by sight. Okay. But I want to dig down in the rabbit hole. What this really means in success and manifesting. And maybe it will open your eyes to a new motivation of it. Okay. And I was just kind of sitting here because over here you can kind of see we got everything packed, ready to go to Bangkok. And this is a big move, a big transition. We're getting ready to go down there, buy a house and stuff like that. It might be happening in the next couple weeks. And for some reason, I don't know why, I just kind of had some worry, doubt, and fear creep in. And I was just sitting here and that phrase popped up. So let's talk about this for a second. Walk in faith, not by sight. You see, walk in faith, what I like to do is play with words. Okay, faith for me is such an overused word that we don't even put meaning to it. Okay, it's almost like we're tone deaf. When we hear faith, we're just like, oh my gosh, shut up. Okay, so I like to play with words. So what's another word for faith? It's belief. Okay, if you truly have faith in something, you truly believe it's going to happen. Okay, now what's another word for belief for a second? If you really believe something's going to happen, you expect it to happen. Expectation. Okay. Now what's another word for expectation? Okay, play with me here for a second. It's demand. When you really expect something to happen, you pretty much demand it's going to happen. Okay. So now let's go down the rabbit hole. Okay. Faith really means belief. It really means expectation. You expect it to happen. It really means you can demand it to happen, baby. Okay. So now let's go back to this verse. Is walk in faith, not by sight. Meaning, besides saying walk in faith, not by sight, you say walk in belief, not by sight. Walk in expectation and not by sight. Okay. Doesn't it sound more powerful, tribe? Walk in belief, walk in expectation. Meaning as you move forward, you're expecting great things to happen. You're expecting it. Okay. But now let's talk about the other end of the verse. Is when I say walk in faith and not by sight. What does that mean, not by sight? You see, in a higher consciousness realm, not by sight means your 3D world. Not by sight means your 5 senses. See, hear, smell, taste, touch. Okay? Meaning, when I'm walking in belief and not by sight, it means I'm ignoring my outside world. I'm ignoring the noise and chaos around me. I'm ignoring if it's working out or not working out. I'm ignoring it. I'm ignoring what my 5 senses can pick up. You see, what happens is your 5 senses, see, hear, smell, taste, touch, can sit here and say, nothing is moving your way. Nothing is moving. Okay? It's like everything's stalled. You don't understand? It's almost like my trip to Bangkok. Is everything has stalled. But again, we must walk in faith, not by sight. We must walk in belief and not by our outside circumstances going around us. We must walk in expectation. We're expecting great things to happen. We're demanding it to happen. We know as the closer we get to what we want, it must unfold. It must go our way, my friends. And I don't know why I was just sitting here thinking about that. And I was kind of like playing with it in my mind before I thought, you know what? I want to share this as a video. I want to share this with the tribe, baby. Okay? And part 2 to this video, let me share this with you, is, and this is really interesting information, because when we look at the esoteric views of the Bible, and we look at more of the esoteric view of Moses, like when Moses freed the slaves out of Israel, and was going all traveling down, and the Pharaoh was chasing him. Okay, because the Pharaoh changed his mind. Okay, because that's when God gave all the 7 plagues, something like that. And Moses and all the Israelites were trapped against the Red Sea. When they were trapped and they saw the Red Sea was huge. There was no way across the Red Sea, guys. You know, the sea was huge. The sea was like a flipping ocean. You can't walk across it. It's not a little stream of water like they show in the movies. Dude, it's a flipping size of an ocean. So when they came up against it, they were trapped. What did they want to do? They started to murmur and complain. Worry, doubt, and fear creeped in, and fear is crippling. Fear stopped them in their tracks. And they actually told Moses, you got to go back to the Pharaoh. We must turn around and go back now and meet the Pharaoh and beg for his forgiveness so he doesn't slaughter us. Because they knew, listen, guys, they knew that the Pharaoh was chasing them. Okay? And I apologize. I said the Israelites was trying to escape out of Egypt. But they're escaping out of Egypt, not Israel. Okay? I put that in there too. I did a little blooper there. I apologize. But what's amazing, a more esoteric view, is nothing happened. You understand? When they came up against the Red Sea and fear creeped in, it stopped them in their tracks. Nothing happened. The Red Sea didn't split. Okay? And Moses went off and prayed with God. And God told him to get all the Israelites and keep on marching, keep on walking into the sea. And for some reason, Moses listened. For most of us, we would have stopped. We would have ran back and begged for forgiveness and went right back to the crappy life we were living. And what magically happened is when Moses listened, listen, guys, when Moses started walking to the Red Sea, he cheered up the Israelites. He got them motivated to follow him because this is what God told him to do. When they started going to the Red Sea, walking there, the Red Sea still didn't split. There was no hope. Okay? Their 5 senses all around them was telling them, Moses, you are one crazy dude. You understand? And even when they got a little bit closer to the Red Sea, where the waves kind of came up and kind of went across their feet, they could feel the water on their feet. The Red Sea flipping still didn't split. I mean, can you imagine in that moment? Even Moses had to be sweating with worry and doubt. All the Israelites had to be flipping sweating just in fear. But Moses had this instinct. He still followed God's voice. Keep on walking against the Red Sea. And they kept on walking. They kept on marching where the water is up to their knees and the Red Sea still didn't split. It still didn't split, baby. And all the Israelites behind Moses were still flipping, murmuring, complaining. Turn around, you crazy fool. Turn around, you nut. And Moses kept on walking. And imagine, you kept on walking, now the water's up to your waist. The Red Sea still didn't split, baby. Murmuring, complaining, going behind him, sweat probably dripping off his face. And Moses went, listen to this, Moses went as far as he could walk into the Red Sea, where the Red Sea would actually just take him. The current of the waves would take him. Okay, so I imagine me living in Thailand for 5 years, being in the ocean all the time. You know, the sea is probably up to here. Okay, if the current's pretty strong, okay, once the water gets up to here, it's not over your head. Once it gets up to your chest, if the current is strong, it's going to take you. It's hard to fight it, you know, when it's up to here, because you're kind of standing on your tiptoes in the sand. So I can imagine that the water is up to here, and Moses went as far as he could go physically. And that's when he put down the staff and the Red Sea split. God came in with a miracle. That's what you have to understand. Okay? And it's really a metaphor in life. That's why I mean like an esoteric understanding of this. Is the metaphor in life is, what is your Red Sea? You understand? That's why I was thinking about walk in faith, not by sight. Walk in belief and not by sight. Walk in expectation and not by sight. I have to move over. The fan's blowing on me too much. It's annoying. You understand, my friends? That's why I was just sitting here and I was thinking about Bangkok. You know, in a couple weeks we might be going down there. We have Aang's brother-in-law and sister actually looking at places down there, looking at different developments, different areas of Bangkok to stay and live. Okay. And honestly, for some reason, I don't feel ready. I feel like worried out and fear creep again. And like I remember, fear is crippling, my friends. Fear will just stop you in your tracks. Fear will just halt you. It's like there's like an invisible wall holding you back and you're scared shitless. And what I'm sharing with you right now is what I was just contemplating in my mind when I was sitting here by myself. All the puppies are sleeping. Aang is sleeping. Aang's dad is outside. Is walk in faith and not by sight. And not by sight really means is sometimes in life, things will not work out in your favor until you went as far as you can possibly go. Until you've done as much as you can do. And then that's when miracles happen. That's when doors open, my friends. Okay? So what's your Red Sea you're dealing with right now? Put it in the comments below. What's your Red Sea? What is something in your life that you know you have to just keep on moving forward? You have to keep on doing your part until you can't do your part no more. Okay, my friends? What's your Red Sea? You see me, and I know I keep on saying, Bangkok, Bangkok, Bangkok. And I know at the beginning of the video, we got everything packed up right here. That's been packed for the last, I started a couple months ago. I started kind of going through things slowly, started seeing what the stuff I had here, like for my condo. Then I started packing up everything I wasn't using. Only thing that's not packed is the stuff that we use day to day. Okay. I've done that. I got all the paperwork ready. Paperwork they might ask me when you buy a house, they're asked for and stuff like that. Got all that ready. Pretty much everything's ready to go. And the only things left is once her brother-in-law puts like a green light for us to kind of go down to Bangkok and and look at, 3-4 places, make a decision, negotiate, and all that stuff. I don't know why that's my Red Sea right now. You know what I mean? I know we gotta go. I know I gotta do it. We can't stay up here no more. But for some reason, I'm just nervous about it. You know what I mean? I don't know why. Some things I get nervous about, other people would get not nervous about. Other things, like I can move to Thailand, do all this great stuff, and it doesn't, I don't even blink. I just do it. It's funny how the small little things hold us back. And really, even at this point, Aang is really being the catalyst in kind of at this part. Like in the beginning, I was a catalyst. Okay, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, we're going, we're moving. I'm getting everything ready. I'm the one packed everything. Before we even moving, I'm the one getting all the paperwork ready. So I did my part. But then now Aang has stepped in as a catalyst. Like I kind of halted. I kind of stalled. Then she's the one kind of pushing okay, once my brother-in-law gives a green light, we're going to go down to Bangkok. You know what I mean? And I don't feel ready. That's my Red Sea. When I don't feel ready, that means you still walk in faith, not by sight. You still walk in belief, not by sight. You still walk in expectation and not by sight. You still walk and do as much as you can walk and do. And when you go as far as you can go, that's when a miracle happens. That's when doors open. That's when you finally get what you want. Even though I know this conceptually, I still have emotions around it. And you too may still have emotions around this. Even though you know this stuff conceptually, you need to hear this information as well. Because whatever you're scared to do, fear is holding you back. That invisible wall in front of you, that's invisible, is holding you back. Fear is just in your mind. Fear is just made up. And what you have to understand is you got to still keep on marching forward like the Israelites, like Moses. Listen, they marched into the Red Sea until they couldn't walk any further. That's when the Red Sea split. That's the metaphor of life as we wrap up this video. You got to keep on walking towards your dream, what you want, until you can't go any further, until you can't do anything more. That's when the miracle sets in. That's when doors open. That's when you finally get what you want, my friends. That's a little glitch in manifestation, my friends. Okay? Just want to share that with you. But anyway, tribe, don't want to murmur and complain more. Don't want to go on and on and on, sound like a robot, explain it 100 different ways. But comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And remember, I love you guys. Hang in there. If you're going through a moment like this, hang in there. Keep on pushing forward. Keep on walking forward. Even though if it's one step at a time, you're still moving forward. Walk by faith, not by sight. Walk in belief, not by sight. Walk in expectation. You're expecting to get what you want. You understand? But you just keep on moving forward. Ignore your 3D world. Ignore things around you that doesn't look like it's happening. It is happening. Everything is reorganizing in your favor. You just can't see it. Okay? But other than that, tribe, I love you. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.